Hello everyone! I just want to say right now, I am sorry for missing Friday's video. I have been thinking about it non-stop since Friday, since I knew I was gonna miss a video, and then I tried to get one up on Saturday, but sometimes you sleep late because you've been up all night reading. I wasn't going to do this video, but I did initially buy this book so that I can participate in the narrative of the happening of this book. So I'm going to be doing a review of Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Like I said, I wasn't going to do this, but everyone is doing reviews, and I did buy this when it came out. And I don't normally buy books when they come out. In fact, I bought this a week before it came out because my local chapters had a copy of it. So I said, why the heck not? Let's do this. Another reason why I wanted to talk about this book is because I've been seeing a lot of people have actually enjoyed this book. They really love it, and I wanted to give another voice to that crowd. First off, I have to say, and this is a small disclaimer, that these are my own opinions about this book. You might read this book and have completely different opinions, and that's okay. I don't want you to not read something because I didn't like it. And I'm realizing that I have a little hint of influence over the things I say about books, and I just want to take responsibility for what comes out of my mouth. Passenger is about a 17-year-old girl named Etta, and she is a violinist, and she's pretty good at it. She has been raised by her mother Rose, and that relationship felt very distant and kind of cold-ish, but it could also be that Rose is British. There's always that aspect of things, but she's also has a really close relationship with Alice, who is her violin instructor, who's really old. She's like in her 90s. One night through the course of doing a performance, things happen, and Etta discovers that she's actually a time traveler and has to embark on this journey to find something that has to do with her mother's past and figure all this stuff out. I really enjoyed the concept of this book. So in the course of trying to find this object that people are looking for, she travels to different times, to different places, and she ends up on a pirate ship and things like that. And I find that the story had a lot of potential to be a lot of fun in that aspect. The exploration of different worlds at different times is just an amazing thing that I think could have been great. Getting this out of the way, I really disliked the insta-love story in this book. We are introduced to Nicholas, who is wanting to have his own pirate ship. He belongs to the 18th century, and he is a privateer, aka a legal pirate. He is also a person of color. He is half black, so he has to deal with that aspect of time and history, which is not very pleasant in a lot of time, any time period really. Etta and Nicholas are instantly drawn to each other when they meet each other, which is something that I'm just like, okay. And the fact that in the course of this book they have known each other for a few weeks and already they're like, I love you, and I want to think about maybe spending the rest of my life with you, but I don't know how because we belong to different time zones and other socially acceptable things. So right off the bat, that was a very major down point in this book. Just the ridiculousness of that whole thing. I don't like insta-love. If I can see that the love interest and the love story in a book is acceptable and realistic, then sure, fine. But I could have this story without it and still have it be an okay story. It's one of those things is this crucial for the story? If yes, then okay. If no, okay, fine. This book could have been just as well if Nicholas and Etta decided to be really good friends. You know, both are pirates at the heart. Sorry, Kayla from the future here. I am in the middle of editing this video, and I found I forgot a few points I wanted to mention when it comes to like the story of Instalove, and I know I wanted to mention it, so I'm going to mention it. When you're put into a situation where time is of the essence and there are loved ones at stake and are in grave peril, I would think that the last thing on my mind would be to hook up with someone. I figured that my mind would be so focused on that point that there would be no need to even entertain the thought of possibly falling in love with someone or being interested in someone. That's just my brain, I guess. Back to what I was saying before. Another point I wanted to point out was the slightly antagonistic relationship between Etta and the other female that we meet, and that is Sophia, who is also around Etta's age and brings her into the time traveling world. It is true that Sophia can be a bit abrasive, and that's her character and nature. She's also from the early 1900s, but Etta was not wanting to listen to her, but instead wanted to comply to Nicholas's wishes instead of what Sophia has asked, which is basically the same thing. It wasn't entirely antagonistic, but it had definitely the potential to be very antagonistic. Etta did try to be a little more persuasive, but I think she was doing that as a means to an end. I found that Etta very manipulative, not in a bad way, but she definitely knew how to try and get what she wanted, even though sometimes it didn't work. For those reasons, it would have been a 4 out of 5 stars, but instead this book for me was a 3 out of 5 stars, and that is another part of the book which I think is just personal to me in the fact that I didn't really like the feel of the book. I want to describe it in terms of film, which is the mise en scène. I did not really like the way the story was presented. I felt that the story was very conversational and not a lot of things were happening. I felt it was a lot of standing around talking about things when the story could be progressing. And I understand the purpose of it was to gain knowledge and world build, but I didn't really like the fact that it was world building in conversation. This was all information that Etta needed to know about the time travel society and how things are and what Nicholas is like, his backstory, and finding out Sophia's backstory, and just everything was a little conversational and not a lot of action. I found myself skim reading the end, like the last 40% of the book, because I just wanted to get this book done and over with because I wasn't enjoying it. And because I wasn't enjoying it, I wasn't able to enjoy the plot twist in the end. In the end, I gave Passenger a 3 out of 5 stars, which is not a bad rating. I liked it, but I think it had its problematic things. Anyway, that's my review of Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I do like the cover, and this book is very nice naked with the tree on the front. If you've read Passenger, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. I know there are plenty of other reviews out there, and I've heard a lot of people talk very, very good things about it, thinking this is an amazing book, and I wanted to add to that narrative of my own perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!